Hello, my name is Joanne Wiles. I'm one of the senior community nurses with the school nursing service. Welcome to the Emotional Health Workshop for parents of children with additional needs. So what do we mean by emotions and emotional health? This is how we think and how we feel, and we all experience a range of emotions. There's no such thing as good as bad emotions, and it's perfectly normal to feel these different emotions. It's as normal to feel angry as it is to feel happy. It's what we do in response to these emotions that matters. A good way of looking at this is by looking at the magic circle, as you can see there. What we think affects how we feel, affects what we do. Let's do an activity to have a look at this in more detail. Okay, I want you to imagine it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, you're in bed and you hear a smash downstairs. What are you going to think? Your initial thought would probably be somebody's broken in. So you'd probably be feeling a little bit angry, a little bit anxious as well. Yeah. So what you do is you probably grab hold of the nearest heavy thing and you'd go downstairs to investigate, probably taking somebody with you. So that's one situation and that's one way of looking at it. For myself, I've got a cat. Same scenario, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I've heard a smash and woken up. What I'm thinking is, what's he knocked over now? I probably feel a bit annoyed more than anything else. But what I'd do is I'd put the duvet over my head, go back to sleep and think I'll deal with it in the morning. So as you can see, same scenario, but two different people can look at it in two totally different ways. When we're stressed, we do tend to focus on the negative in our lives. People can be in the same situation, yet think and feel and behave very, very differently. Even if we've got the same emotion or the same feeling, we can behave differently in the same situation. So let's have a look now at what might affect your child's emotions. Life changes. So this could be something such as moving house, a new brother or sister, moving schools, transition at school, or falling out with their best friend even. That's a major life change for a child. You're having a difficult time. If you're feeling stressed or anxious or worried about something, or you're struggling with something in your day-to-day life, this will have an effect on your child's emotions. As parents, we do try and hide things from our children as much as we can, but it's not always easy, and they do pick up on things. Your child's having a difficult time. If your child is struggling in school, for instance, with the work, or just struggling generally with friendships, or just going to school, again, that can have an effect on their emotions. If they've lost their favourite toy, that can have a big effect on a child's emotions. Your child needs an attention. So if your child does need your attention and doesn't know how to communicate it, sometimes it can mean that they're getting very angry and showing anger, or they're very quiet and anxious and withdrawn. It might just be that they need your attention, but they don't know how to communicate those feelings. And how you've handled difficult behaviour before. A good example of this would be a 2-year-old child who wakes up during the night. Obviously, very often when they're that age, we think, do you know what, come and get in bed with me. It's easy for you, you can get back to sleep, and the child's more likely to drift off. When the child's a little bit older and they're getting bigger, sometimes we want to stop that behaviour and we want them to start sleeping in their own bed. But it's difficult for a child to accept that you are going to now handle that behaviour very differently. So again, that can cause your child to be very emotional in one way or the other, either very angry or very upset about it. So how can we help children to understand their emotions? The first thing is being able to name the feeling. Many children know that they are feeling some kind of emotion, but they don't know what it is. So if you can see your child is feeling a certain way, it's about saying to them, I can see you're feeling angry. I can see you're feeling upset. I can see you're feeling worried about something. So that they know when they're feeling a certain way, they know what the name for it is. Taking the time to listen and chat to them, not just about feelings, but at other times as well. If you've got a good relationship with your child, they are more likely to come to you when they are feeling worried or anxious. Normalising that feeling, okay? We've all felt different ways at different times. If you know that your child is feeling angry, you could say to them, I felt angry as well. This is the sort of thing that makes me feel angry. Or I can see you're feeling upset. I feel upset too. This is the sort of thing that makes me feel upset. So they understand it's perfectly normal to feel that way. It's also important that we talk to them about the positive ways of dealing with their feelings. So what to do when they are feeling that way. So if they are feeling worried, how can we make ourselves feel better? If they are feeling angry, how can we calm ourselves down? Something that we use in the school nursing service is something called bear cards. As you can see, this is my pack of bear cards. You can buy these off the internet. I think they're available on Amazon, but they are quite expensive. So I will talk to you in a second about different ways of using something similar to this. As you can see, the bear cards show bears showing different emotions. There's a bear feeling very happy with himself, another one feeling very happy with himself. That one's feeling quite down and upset. And this one's feeling a little bit scared, I think. Yeah, we could all have interpreted those cards in a different way. And everybody looks at different feelings in different way. Some other way you could use something similar to bear cards, but shows the same sort of thing, is emojis. Okay, so if we've all got emojis on our phones, we've all got pictures of emojis somewhere. If you know your child struggles to talk about their feelings, use pictures. Get them to show you how they're feeling rather than to talk about it. It's much easier to start that conversation then. So what is anxiety? Anxiety is worry or fear about something. It can be mild and it can be severe. It might be worry or fear about something that has happened or is going to happen. We all feel worried or anxious from time to time, and it's perfectly normal. Your child might be feeling anxious about sitting an exam, for instance, or starting a new school, going into a new class. There are times we don't need to feel this way though, because we can learn to listen to our bodies. Our body is our friend, and it's important that we listen to what our body is telling us in difficult times. What you may notice in your child are asking lots of questions about up and coming events, feeling very shy or anxious, very withdrawn, avoidance, so that may be staying close to you, staying close to the parent or carer, wanting to be a perfectionist. So if they've done some work and they're not happy that it's their best, they may rip it up or scribble over it and do it again. And sometimes if they can't get it right, that can lead to more anxiety. They may be finding it difficult to go to sleep or waking up quite a lot. They may be undereating or overeating. And as I say, that change in the sleep pattern, waking up early, finding it difficult to go to sleep, or waking up a lot during the night. These are all signs of anxiety. You may have noticed some of these signs in your child. I'm not saying that you'll see all of them. You may just see one or two, okay? But every child is different. So we're now going to look at something called body clues. So this is our body, and this might be some body clues that your body gives you when you're feeling worried or anxious about something. You may see someone there that you know that you experience yourself as a parent, heart beating faster, heart racing or palpitations. You might feel a little bit more sweaty. You might have a headache. I know myself, I get a headache if I'm worried about something. Might find it difficult to go to sleep. Many children get a tummy ache as well. That's psychosomatic. It might feel as if they've got a tummy ache, but actually they haven't. It's just their body saying to them, you're worried or anxious about something. It's important that we recognise these clues in our bodies. And when we are experiencing them, we do something about it. we need to calm our bodies down. For children with additional needs, that might be you helping them to do that. You may find that you know what helps calm your child down: fidget spinners, weighted blankets, looking at pictures, having sensory toys, lava lamps, that sort of thing. You'll know your child the best and you know what calms your child down. But it's important that your child knows that as well. So when their body is giving them these clues that they're feeling worried or anxious about something, they know what to go to. They know what to do. If your child is experiencing these body clues because of an up and coming event, it's important that you recognise them, calm their body back down, but then talk to them about what's going to happen. Okay, you may need to use pictures or social stories to talk to them about what's going to happen so that they can see visual clues and they know. I'm sure many of you have heard about the fight or flight response. When we see something scary or think of something frightening, our body prepares us to either fight it or to run in the opposite direction. A good example of this that I like to use is a roller coaster. Some people love that feeling of that adrenaline rushing around their bodies when they're on that roller coaster. Their heart is beating faster, the blood is pumping through the body, and it's great, isn't it? It feels good to some people. To other people, they hate the thought of being at the top of that dip and about to go down. They don't like that feeling of their heart beating faster. They don't like that feeling of not actually being able to breathe properly. And they're going to not even get in that queue. They're going to run. That's that flight response. Okay. Our body tells us when we need to fight or flight. Okay. So our body will get at our body will be prepared for it. So we need to be able to recognise what's our body going to do. Self-esteem. What does self-esteem mean to us? Self-esteem is the way we look at ourselves. It's the belief we place in ourselves as an individual. It represents pride and self-confidence. And usually good self-esteem helps us to cope with difficult things that come our way. So how can we tell if somebody has got good self-esteem? Usually they're the sort of people who are willing to have a go at anything new. They're also not bothered by or upset by negative comments from other people. They appear confident. They may walk tall. They may walk with their head held high. They like themselves. They're happy with how they look and how they are. They think very positively. They don't very often think negatively. Or if they do think negatively, they're able to challenge that and think more positively. They're able to listen to constructive criticism from others, and they're happy to listen to advice from others and take it on board. Some things that can hurt our self-esteem are being ignored, being called names, especially things like you're just like your dad, you're just like your older brother. This is the sort of things I'd expect from you. Fear of others laughing at them, a lack of interest or eye contact from other people. I know myself, if I'm talking to somebody and they keep looking behind me or they're looking down or they're looking at their phone, then that really has a bad effect on my self-esteem. I think what I've got to say isn't important, and this is the same for children. Gestures such as shaking heads, rolling eyes, or noises and grunts. Fear of other people thinking your ideas are childish or silly. And comments to say as if, oh, that's the stupidest thing you've ever said. You're always saying things like that. Children do experience this, and this isn't helping their self-esteem. To make children feel better about themselves, we need to make sure that this isn't happening. So what can we do to help your child's self-esteem? We can be very descriptive in our praise. So that's being more specific about things rather than saying you're great, you are, well done for doing that. It's about You are fantastic at tidying your room. I really like the way that you hang all your clothes up. I really like the way that you talk to your brother. You talk in a really nice voice. I really like the way you've done that picture. The colours you've used are absolutely fantastic. So it's being very specific about what you like and being very descriptive in your praise of them. Giving and receiving compliments on a regular basis. Sometimes children don't get many compliments, so they find it difficult when they do get them. But if we can get into the routine of giving them compliments and encouraging them to give them to others as well, that's really important. Encouraging and supporting them in everything that they do, even if you think it's not a good idea, if it's something that your child wants to do, as long as it's not unsafe, then let them give it a go, but encouraging them and doing it as well. Listening to them. Okay, it's really important that we listen and talk to our children, as I said earlier. If we can have a good relationship with our children, they're more likely to talk to us if they're feeling worried or anxious about something. Rewarding children for trying their best, giving things a go. It's not just about achieving things in life. If we can learn to reward ourselves, or if other people reward us for just giving it a go and trying our best, then that's going to make us more likely to give it a go again, to give it another try. Giving reassurance that everything's going to be okay, that as I said, it's normal, it's normalizing those feelings. It's okay to feel worried or anxious. It's okay to feel angry. It's what we do with those feelings that matters. Low mood. A general low mood includes worrying about something. It can be in reaction to a life event. It can be panicky or anxious, feeling very tired, feeling frustrated or angry, and having low self-esteem and confidence. This happens to us all. Things that can cause low mood are family circumstances, what's going on at home, parents, carers arguing, family breakdown, parents having financial problems which impacts on the child, bereavement, bullying that's going on at school, issues with their friendships, falling out with a friend, difficulties at school, not coping with the work or the homework, or health conditions. These are all things that can cause low mood. Low mood generally improves by resolving the issue that was causing it. Okay, and this is the same for all of us. If we are suffering low mood, it normally doesn't last. Whatever was causing it, once it's resolved, the low mood usually lifts. But when can low mood become worrying? If your child's low mood continues and the child displays the following signs, then you should be seeking professional help. If your child has got a feeling of low self-worth, they don't think they're worthy, that they've got nothing to look forward to, even with something like Christmas or family holidays coming up, if they're not looking forward to it and they can't see anything good that's happening, then that's worth worrying about. If they lose interest in things that they've normally enjoyed, if they seem to be more tired than normal, if their schoolwork is becoming impacted, or if they're actually refusing to go to school altogether, if they've got a disturbed sleeping pattern, if they're finding it difficult to go to sleep, or they're waking up an awful lot, and that this is leading to them being very, very tired, if they're feeling that they want to isolate themselves from others, family, or their friends, if they're overeating or undereating, if there is a significant change in their appetite that you've noticed due to weight loss or weight gain, and in more severe cases, thoughts of self-harm or actual self-harm. And this isn't always about cutting, it can be pulling hair, picking spots, that sort of thing. So any self-harm that you've noticed, obviously this is more worrying, and you should seek help and advice. In Walsall, we have something called Hannah, the 5 Ways to Wellbeing. It's a little bit to read on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this in a little bit more detail. As you can see, there are 5 ways to wellbeing. So the first one is the pink, and that's connecting with others. So what we say is if you can do one of each of these 5 ways to well-being every day, it's going to help your emotional health. So as I've said, the first one is pink, connecting with others. So if you can smile at someone, listen to somebody, spending time with people that you care about and talking about feelings or being supportive, that is connecting with someone else. And that's good for our own emotional well-being. The blue one is the being active. Okay, that's doing anything active at any point during the day. We know for children it's important that they're active for 60 minutes a day, and that can be walking to school, walking back from school, especially if you do it a little bit faster so they get out of breath a little bit. Doing some dancing, yeah. Going to one of their classes that they may go to, football, swimming, running classes, anything like that. But if your child isn't involved in anything that's active, it's important that you do more activity at home. On the trampoline out in the garden, skipping in the garden, doing some exercises together. This is for adults as well as children, so it's important that you do this as a family, because it's not going to do anybody any harm. We can all do something to improve our emotional well-being. The mauve or purple one there is giving. So that's listening to your friends, doing something nice for somebody else, smiling at somebody that you meet, even if it's only a stranger, giving your time to people that you care about. It's not about giving presents. Sometimes the most important thing that you can give someone else is your time, just listening to them and giving those compliments. If you can get into the routine of giving a compliment to someone else or yourself once a day, then that's really good. The orange section there is to keep learning. Children are at school, so they are learning, but it's important that we're learning new skills as well. Trying something new, maybe rediscovering an old interest, especially for adults. If we know that there was something that we used to do when we were younger, but since we've got older and we've had children, we don't do it anymore, what's to stop you rediscovering it? What's to stop you doing it, taking it up as a new interest? Learning to call play an instrument, and again, this is something that you can do with your child. Are there any after school clubs that you could attend for your child can attend? You can also set yourself a challenge, okay? And that may be to learn something new. The Couch to 5K is a brilliant challenge for people to do. And something that you're going to enjoy achieving as well. We know that if you're trying to learn something that you're not interested in, it's very difficult to learn it. So learn something that you enjoy. The green is take notice. Okay, so this is taking notice of what's around us, appreciating that beauty, not just outside, but in the home as well, appreciating what we've got. Doing a creative activity together with your child can help us be more focused. Okay, it can be really good for doing something nice together, but it can also make us appreciate. Reflecting on your experiences will help you to understand what matters to you. So if you can encourage your child to be more mindful as well about the world around them, this is something that they will take into adulthood. So as you can see there, 5 ways to wellbeing isn't just about your child, it's about you as a family. It's really good to get into the routine of making sure that you all do something out of each of these 5 boxes every day, and that will improve your emotional health. I was going to say well. Something else in Walsall that we offer is the Friends programme. There are 4 different programmes for Friends. Fun Friends, which is for ages 4 to 7, Primary Friends, which is 7 to 11, Teen Friends, which is 12 to 16, and Adult Resilience, which is Resilience for Life, which is for 16 plus, and that's right up to 80, 90 years old. It's for all adults. What is it? It's come from Australia, and it's from the child psychologist, Dr. Paula Barrett. And what it does, it helps to promote that social and emotional well-being. It teaches improved coping and problem-solving skills. So when we are faced with difficult situations, but that we can cope with it a lot better. And it's skills that children will learn to use in their daily life, and it builds up that emotional resilience. It was created to help children and young people to develop these life skills to cope with these difficult situations. It helps to improve their self-confidence and their self-esteem, and it normalises anxiety. And we do it through group and peer learning. We do it as a group. It's a very powerful standalone early intervention programme. FRIENDS is an acronym, and each letter stands for a different skill which the child will learn. So F is about feelings, about our own feelings, recognising our feelings, and about the feelings in learning to recognise the feelings in others. It's also about recognising those body clues. So when I talked about the body clues at the beginning of this workshop, it's about how we can encourage the child to recognise those. R is remembering to relax. It's about when our body is at that stage where we are worried or anxious, calming that body back down. I is remembering, I can do it, I can try my best, I can give things a go. E is exploring solutions and coping step plans, which is a bit of a mouthful really, but all that means is when you're faced with a difficult situation, breaking it down into easily achievable steps. N is now reward yourself, you've done your best. So it's about rewarding yourself for giving things a go, not for actually achieving. D is don't forget to practice, because it's the same with any skills that we learn. If we don't practice it, we'll forget it. And S, smile, stay calm for life. As I say, these are skills that you will learn that you can use throughout your life. So as long as you keep using them, you can use them all the time. Have you ever noticed when you're on an aeroplane or you've watched a film when they're on a plane that the announcement comes over the tannoy? If anything happens, the oxygen mask will fall and you need to put your own on before helping the person next to you. As parents, this is really difficult to do because the first thing we want to do is help our child. But actually, if you are not in a good place yourself, how can you support your child? Sometimes when parents or carers are anxious or have low self-esteem, this will impact on the way you manage your child's behaviour. And sometimes children mirror a parent's anxiety, and they may communicate this through their behaviour, either through anger or through being very quiet and withdrawn. If you've got good emotional well-being, then as I say, you are better placed to support your child with their emotional well-being. So that is why we offer something called the Adult Resilience Programme. And as I said, when I introduced the Friends Programme, this is basically Friends, okay, for adults. And it will help you as an adult to build your confidence and self-esteem, to reduce your anxiety, and to give you skills to cope more effectively with those challenging situations that you may come across. Exactly the same as a friends group, some of the skills that we teach you are talking about feelings, talking about empathy, so that's those feelings in others, identifying your body clues when you're getting stressed and how to relax your body back down. Very often, as I said at the beginning, when we're stressed, we very often think negatively. So it's about challenging those negative thoughts and changing them into positive thoughts. It's about identifying who our role models are and who our support network is as well, because we all have one, but sometimes we don't use them effectively. And it's about setting ourselves goals and challenges and using those coping step plans for coping with them, just breaking it down into easily achievable steps and rewarding ourselves for when we achieve each step. We also run many parenting programs. So if you feel that you need some extra support with your parenting, you may decide that you'd like to access one of our programs. We have the Solihull approach, which is a 10-week program, and this is about improving that relationship between you and your child. We talk about how you can have fun together, how you can tune into your child's developmental needs, how you can help your child with self-regulation, calming down when they're angry, or getting to sleep if they are anxious about something, and how to communicate better with your child. As you can see, it's a 10-week programme. We don't run the programmes in school holidays, so it's term time only, and that's for 2 hours a week. The Triple P programme is slightly different in that it's an 8-week programme. Okay, and as well as doing a lot of what we do in Solihull approach, this also talks about the causes of why children behave the way that they do. It does talk about building that positive relationship between your child, but it also gives you a lot more strategies for managing that misbehaviour. Again, the 8-week programme is only in school term time, it's not in the holidays, but you are actually only in the group for 5 of the 8 weeks. For 3 of the weeks, we telephone you, there are telephone calls. So we phone you at home on a one-to-one basis to talk about your individual problems and concerns and talk about how you can handle that behaviour. The Signet programme is specifically aimed at parents of children who've got a diagnosis of autism. So if this is you, you may feel that the Signet programme will be a lot more useful for you. It's a little bit of a mixture between understanding your child's behaviour and Triple P, because it talks about how you and your child are feeling. It's talking about tuning into their developmental needs, but it's also about giving you a few differentiated strategies for managing that behaviour. Obviously, strategies need to be slightly different for a child with autism because they have very different needs. Something that is also offered is Kooth, which is an online service for young people. So if you've got a child who is 11 years and older, they can access Kooth. It's an online service, okay, but if they have any problems that they'd like to talk about at home that they're having, or at school, or with friendships, or they're just feeling low, they can access Kooth, which is very safe, it's confidential, okay, but it's something that they can access themselves. So getting more help and advice, as you can see, we have a telephone number there. So we have a single point of access, and our number there, 01922 423349. If you've got any further questions from this webinar, or you'd like further advice about any of the groups that we offer, you can actually ring our number. We have a text messaging service for parents as well. So if you feel that you haven't got time to talk to someone, but you've got a question that you just thought of, give us a text and ask a school nurse. We have school nurses on duty Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and that's all year round. Okay. Obviously, we're not here on specific bank holidays, but we are here Monday to Friday all year round. So that's even throughout the school holidays. You can visit our websites, Health for Kids and Health for Teens. These are national websites, but there is a drop-down box where you can click on Walsall to see what's available in the Walsall area. There are also games on there for children to play. So there are specific games for children who are suffering from anxiety as well, and they're really good fun for them. We have a chat health service for young people, children and young people aged 11 to 19. So if they do have any concerns about any aspect of their health, they can text a school nurse. Again, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We're on Instagram and we're on Twitter, and you can follow us on there to see up-to-date information. There is also a website that is on there called Wellbeing at walsallhealthcare.nhs.uk. If you want further information or advice about any of the groups that we offer, the Friends, the Adult Resilience, or the Parenting, you can email Sam Masood on wellbeing@walsallhealthcare.nhs.uk and ask that question. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to today's webinar. I hope it's answered all your questions. Because it's a webinar, you can't actually ask me any questions, but if you do have any questions from today, please give us a ring, please email us, please send us a text and ask those questions. Thank you.